This is Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate. Here on this Friday. Bodie, it's Friday.
Friday.
There we go.
Friday.
Friday. Yeah. I'm Tito, Jeff Thitoff. You just heard the voice of Bodie Wells, and now we got Sean. I'm sorry, I keep calling him Sean Carter. Jay-Z next to me, Justin Zwick. To my left, filling in for Bobby today. Good morning, Justin. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing good. It's been a while. I've missed you guys, but the year's off to a good start, except for this week with a foot of snow and 0 degrees outside.
Other than that,
yeah, doing great. You know, just forging ahead.
Been a couple of big changes since January 1st, and I just want to make you aware of them. First of all, I stand during the show now, and it's for 2 reasons. One, for health reasons, just it's better than sitting. And secondly, just in case something erupts, like where you and I have a disagreement, or Bobby and I've got the upper hand to start out. Since I would be on my feet, I learned that from Dwight Schrute. And the other thing, and this might be just as significant, I need a new barber. My hair's getting long again. And my uncle retired after 45 years. He'd cut my hair 45 years.
Wow, that's consistency right there.
The only other barber to cut my hair in those 45 years was at Fort Knox, Kentucky when I showed up for basic training. That's the only other one. So I got to find a new one. Now, my uncle said he cut it at his house, but I don't know if he really wants to do that. He's been standing on his feet for, 45 years. I don't know if he really wants to do that or not. So
yeah, that's a tough deal. When you've done it for so, it's like coaching,
Yeah.
You've coached for so long, you don't want to really stop.
Yeah,
maybe just.
Maybe I'm doing a favor.
Yeah, you'd be doing him a favor by, every now and then you're coming in.
Yes.
I mean, it's every 3-4 weeks. It's not the end of the world.
You're right.
He's not going to have a full roster over there at the house,
Unless I complain then. I'm like, hey, dude, seriously, you're letting I know you're retired, but you're not done. Morning Juice, sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin. 2 full hours here on YouTube, the Fan app, HD3, also Facebook and Twitter. You can download the show anytime and catch us from 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus. Morning Juice, sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin. AJ Hawk joins us at 7:40. Did I cover everything there, Bodie?
I believe so. That sounds about right. Yep.
All right. NHL tonight, the Jackets at Chicago in a standalone game. And then they play Saturday night in St. Louis. And we spent some time doing some last-minute show research on why in the hell is there only one NHL game tonight. And we don't know.
Did not come up with an answer on that one.
So,
just giving the people what they want on a Friday night.
There's not any kind of special holiday. It's just, hey, you guys play here. So, Ohio State men at Wisconsin tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Cavs in Phoenix tonight. Our number 11 Ohio State women walloped Wisconsin. Women walloped Wisconsin. See what I did right there? That's the writer in me. 81-58 last night. And that game was here, Bodie.
That's correct. Yep.
Yes. See?
Men are in Madison.
Men are in Madison tomorrow at 2. Big game, too, for them. On that. The Wisconsin and Ohio State are both about the same. They're both viewed about the same way as far as Ken Pom and net and bracketology. So it's
supposed to be a good one to go get.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they've pulled out a couple that were good. I feel like in the last couple of years they don't win. So,
right.
They got some good things going on over there.
And Justin, they are 5-3 in January, which is not something we're used to.
Yeah, we usually start off hot and then just start skidding. But yeah, that's great.
8-17 the previous 3 Januaries, and we're going to have a winning record for the first time since 2021-2022 in the month of January, unless they somehow play a doubleheader and they lose both, then they'll just be 500. That's just the kind of thing that would happen. Yes, like I said, AJ Hawk on. We're going to talk a couple of things. A couple of former Ohio State players, something they said. We're also going to do a deeper dive into the Belichickian snub. And then AJ to wrap the show to the Ask AJ and all of that. So, but right now, though, Bodie, it's your turn to make me smarter.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
All right, fellas. Happy Friday, January 30th, 2026. My sheet shows.
You did a Carpenter pause. That's what Carpenter does, too. He'll start to say something like a...
I had this same just running sheet, and the last time I used it was
25.
when Carp would have been off back in the year of 2025.
Yes.
Simple math here would say it's the 30th day of the year. We have just 335 days left.
330 days
And
ago.
it is 2026. We'll start with some events here. In 1835, Richard Lawrence misfires at President Andrew Jackson in Washington, D.C. That was the first attempted assassination of a U.S. president.
Really?
So,
He misfired, huh?
Yeah, so The
Loser.
Good for Andrew Jackson, man. Lucky number 7, I guess.
No doubt.
So not so good news here on this one, just to be pretty blunt about it. In 1933, President Paul von Hindenburg appoints Adolf Hitler as Reich Chancellor of Germany. Not a great
Didn't go so
call
well
there. Yeah,
it didn't go so well.
Didn't really vet it.
Sometimes you shoot and you miss, you know? I mean,
yeah, we could have vetted that higher a little bit better. And yeah,
we needed a third party to really research that one.
Tito, what would you call that? The Ohio State equivalent hiring?
No, I'm not going to do this.
Not going to get into that.
Listen, because I love John Cooper as a person. He's a great man. No, but you made me say but now. No, the worst hire, the not the best hire.
You didn't have to pick football.
Yeah, he just went. He had that.
I guess Jim O'Brien. Jim O'Brien. Let's go that way.
Okay, yeah,
we'll do that one.
There you go. Sad news here. Speaking of assassinations, on this date in 1948, Gandhi is assassinated, the Indian civil rights activist and just a peaceful dude overall. So not a great person to kill there, frankly. Don't want to kill the president. Don't want to kill Gandhi. Somebody could have assassinated Hitler. We might have been better
I
off.
don't know how Gandhi got on that list.
Right,
Yeah, I'm going to take
Gandhi
him out
do
one
to piss
day.
people off?
Yes,
exactly.
Some music here. 1961, I Fall to Pieces. The single was released by Patsy Cline. It was the Billboard Song of the Year there in 1961.
I fall to pieces. I know the listeners love when I sing along.
Each time
That's why I'll get assassinated. There's some Patsy Cline fan listening right now. Thinking, God, Tito.
Putting your name on a list
Right, yes.
right now. And putting their lipstick on.
Yes. That's what they're doing.
Some college basketball here. A decade later, 1971, UCLA starts and begins their 88-game win streak with a 74-61 win against UC Santa Barbara.
You know when it ended, right?
I don't know the date, but I know.
Yeah.
Funny enough, so the loss that the game right before this that they lost was against Notre Dame.
Was it
I was
really?
going to say
And
Notre
then
Dame
they-
has to be
They
something.
bookended it. Yeah, that was
Wow.
their last loss before the 88-game win
right?
streak, and then in the 89th game of the streak is when they lost to the Irish again. 1975, Erno Rubik applies for a patent for his magic cube. That would, of course,
yes.
later become the Rubik's Cube. 1978, the Mutual Broadcasting Network begins airing the late-night Larry King Show on radio from Miami, Florida. I got a few Super Bowls on this date here. First up, 1983, Super Bowl 17 is played at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. That is where the Washington Redskins beat the Miami Dolphins 27-17. MVP of the game was John Riggins, the Washington Redskins running back.
Trailing 17-13 with 10 minutes to go. Washington bogged down on Miami's 43. The Redskins' entire season had come down to fourth and a yard. The Redskins bet the farm on the Hogs.
Let's go. Goal line. I left tight wing, 70 chip on white. Ready?
Here comes the diesel. Here comes the diesel.
Yellow 41! Yellow 41!
There's the snap, hand to Riggins. Good hole. He's got the first down to the 40. He's gone. The 35, the 30, the 20. He's gone. He's gone. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. For the first time since 1942, the Washington Redskins have an NFL championship.
John Riggins was famous for, first of all, he's famous for just being that guy you see and can't believe he's a successful running back well into his 30s. He just didn't. He just looked like he was a lot older than he was anyway. But at a Washington banquet, Sandra Day O'Connor, Supreme Court Justice, was there. Riggins was drunk. And he goes up to her while he's drunk and says, "Hey, loosen up, Sandy, baby." And then he passes out on the floor.
Wow.
Yes. That is awesome.
That's how you live, right?
Was
there,
Lachey
Tito.
there in that? That was 83?
Let's see here.
Yeah, that was
Lachey,
83.
Or was he
I'm
84,
not sure.
85?
I think he was 85. I think he was
85,
after,
okay.
yeah, I think he was after that one.
11 years later, and for a second consecutive year in Super Bowl 28 down there at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, the Dallas Cowboys beat the Buffalo Bills 30-13. MVP of that game was the all-time leading rusher, Emmitt Smith.
And one thing, this week I'm not going to say a word. You know how I feel, but I'm not going to say a word. But I will say one thing right now. How about them Cowboys?
Emmett breaks a tackle. 10-5, touchdown. Smith, touchdown. The interception by James Washington, setting up the Emmitt Smith score on 4th down. And Smith now with 117 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns to lead Dallas.
I don't think Emmett likes me.
No?
No.
He doesn't like you.
Just a gut feeling.
Well, I don't know.
When's the
he
last
doesn't
time
think
you
of
do?
me. He doesn't think of me. It was probably
not. He probably doesn't think of all
no.
3 of us, I'd say.
No, but it was probably about 8 years ago, maybe. Almost 9 years ago, it had to be. Probably almost 9 years ago. They had an autograph show over there at the fairgrounds, and we did a live show from there. Among the people we had on the air, we had Clay Matthews on. We had Carlos Snow, Tom Berenger, the actor. He was on there as well, and Emmitt Smith. And I think I've told you this before, Jess. I know I've told Sanzenbacher about it. But when we're working close together, sometimes when I'm talking, I'll put my hand on your shoulder or something, almost like that, And there's a picture I've got. I'm not going to look it up right now. I have a picture on my phone that my wife had taken. My hand's on his shoulder, and Emmitt is just looking to the other side, like with his eyes rolled. I don't know what I asked him. I don't know if it was the question or the touching.
Or
but
both.
Yeah, it could have both. I was trying to get
Just
into
everything about you.
Yeah,
You're
it's
just like, I'm rolling my eyes at this
I
guy.
don't know about this guy.
I got to spend about 10 minutes talking to him, and it was probably about 9.5 minutes too long, in his opinion.
Do you feel like percentage-wise, most of the people you meet like that are either cool or that way? Like the big time?
I think most of them are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Most of them I've talked. I'm trying to think I don't know who the biggest ones I've had are. I had Justin Zwick on one time. But,
what a prick that guy is.
I didn't want to say it publicly, but yeah, I mean, you're talking about the Hitler hire. No, but I've got. I mean, Tebow was great. Bernie was great. I'm trying to think. I know I've interviewed more than that, but those are the ones that come to mind for me. Clark Kellogg.
I feel like we had you talked about Bo Jackson, I think, once.
Bo
and
Jackson.
that didn't go well. Yeah.
Oh.
Because he was all talkative, and then he got to you, and he's like, "Well, I don't want to talk about that."
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he broke his hip. There, how about that?
Oh, gee.
Was
I'm
that
just
told, did you say when you interviewed him you cut it off?
Yeah, I cut it because he didn't want to talk about his career. He wanted to talk about the Bo. It must have been the Bo Jackson.
Dome, I think maybe, yeah.
What it was. He after pontificating for 2 segments almost with Torg and Elliott over there in '96, and then he wouldn't talk to me at all. So I was like. I was working with Beanie that day. The look on Beanie's face, his eyes were all wide, like, you don't know what to do.
What am I supposed to do here?
Like, we're cutting this off.
Continuing here, some NBA news on this one. Big Bad Magic Johnson, what's he done? Well, on this date, 1996, he came out of a 5-year retirement, helped the Lakers beat Golden State. 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists. That's he still had it.
Yeah.
5 years to retire, and came back and said, here's a triple-double. Some music here on this date, 1999. Britney Spears, she begins a 2-week run atop the U.S. singles chart with this song right here. I'm guessing you've probably heard of it once or twice.
Oh, baby, baby.
So she burst on the scene. How old was she? You know, was she 16?
She was part of that Mickey Mouse Club or something, wasn't she, with Timberlake back then?
I remember she got to 21, and one of my relatives said I liked her a lot more when she was younger. I was like, dude,
that's
creepy. You can't. Don't say it to anybody ever.
Actually. So she was born in 81. That song came out, 99?
Yeah, she was 18.
So 18 at that time.
She had a run.
Yeah,
for a while.
Yes, she did.
And every now and then she throws out a crazy video online. And
shaves her head, and now look what happens.
Yeah, she hasn't seemed to be doing too well here the last couple decades. And then last event here in a Super Bowl on this date in 2000, the greatest show on turf wins Super Bowl 34 down at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta as the Rams by half a yard beat the Tennessee Titans 23-16. MVP of that game was the quarterback Kurt Warner.
Probably the final play of the game in regulation. It is caught by Dyson. Can he get in? No, he cannot. Mike Jones made the tackle. And the Rams have won the Super Bowl.
St. Louis, the gateway to the West, is now the gateway to the best football team in the world.
Glad to hear Al Michaels actually used to, he used to have some enthusiasm when he called
Yes,
games.
he did.
Nowadays on Prime, it just
not so much.
he's lost his fastball, I think, a little bit. Some birthdays here. Born on this date in 1930, sadly passing away pretty close to a year ago to the day, actually. He passed away on February 17th of last year. But born on this date in 1930 was actor Gene Hackman.
I'm sure going to the state finals is beyond your wildest dreams, so let's just keep it right there. Forget about the crowds, the size of the school, their fancy uniforms, and remember what got you here. Focus on the fundamentals that we've gone over time and time again. And most important, don't get caught up thinking about winning or losing this game. If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says, at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners. Okay? All right! Let's go! Let's go! Let me hear it!
That ain't Herb Brooks, but it'll do.
I feel like the team could have been a little more excited, and maybe back then it wasn't allowed to like scream or say something. Instead, just like, oh, we're gonna start slow clap after he tries to get us fired up. It's not like that. Let's go.
Miracle. Okay, Miracle better than Hoosiers, but it's damn close for me.
But Miracle has the American
Yes,
pride, and it's like, all right, yeah, we're beating another country here.
Also real.
Well, then there's
Happened.
Ish.
There's
Yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, they won the game.
They did win the game. That's fair. Yes, that's right.
Everything else might have been fake, but they did win that game.
Well, it was based on a true story.
No, I know.
They wouldn't
No,
embellish
I'm just
anything.
Yeah, we've talked about that on the show before. That's not a movie. That was a real life documentary. They just unfortunately Herb had passed. So
Yeah, they had to find somebody else to
Russell
do
had to
it.
step in. But other than that, born on this date. Well, I don't have the. I could do some quick math, but I'm not going to. Turning 75 years old today. That'd be the singer Phil Collins.
So it'll be 1951, probably.
Mike Tyson?
That's got to be one of the coolest. Like, dun, dun.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
when that hits, you have to blare it, and you have to just get after it.
He's
That's
in
cool.
bad shape now.
Is he?
Yeah, they say he has to have around-the-clock care.
I think I saw him probably 8 years ago. Would that be right?
That'd be right,
But he had
yeah.
I think his son was on tour with him and was
Yeah.
playing in the band with him. It was pretty cool. But he just sat. I think he had a hip replacement. He just sat on a stool and did his thing. But
He was
it was
so
still
good.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Genesis was so good. Phil Collins famously, when they did Live Aid back in 1985, they had the one concert in Philly and one in London as part of the all-day thing, and he played in both of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
played in Philly, and then I think
That's
played in
pretty
Philly
cool.
and flew to
Built
London. Yeah.
There you go. Michael Thompson, the former NBA veteran there, two-time NBA champ, father of Klay Thompson. He turned 72 years old today. The long time, very long time, I think, I don't know, at least 2, if not 3 decades at this point, Michigan State head basketball coach for the men, Tom Izzo. He turned 71 years old today. Sticking with basketball, probably most famous for his being a member of the Fab Five and 13-year NBA veteran, Jalen Rose turns 53 years old today. One of my favorites. Been in many movies, The Prestige, The Big Short. I think it was The Fighter with, who was that? Tom Hardy, I believe, if I remember correctly there. But nevertheless, probably most famous, though, for his role as the protector of Gotham City, Mr.
that's good.
Bruce Wayne,
Yes.
a.k.a. Batman, a.k.a. Christian Bale.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I can do those things, because I'm not a hero. Not like Dad. I killed those people. That's what I can be.
No, you can't. You're not.
I'm whatever Gotham needs me to be. Call it in. Because that's what needs to happen. Because sometimes truth isn't good enough. Sometimes people deserve more. Sometimes people deserve to have their faith rewarded.
Best Batman movies out.
Yes.
No question.
My absolute favorite. The 3 of them are just, they're great.
Especially that one. The second
Yeah,
one
that one's really
with Heath Ledger.
yes.
Joker is just unbelievable.
They were well done. The second one really killed it, but
What was the most recent one?
That was just the Batman.
Yeah, who was
with
it? Who was that one?
Robert Pattinson.
Oh, that's right.
Did you
It
did you
was
like
pretty
that?
good.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
it was okay.
didn't
It was okay,
catch
yeah.
that one.
It was pretty good.
And they had
It's,
Affleck be a Batman and like
Yeah,
the Superman
Affleck,
Batman
yes.
one
I never
or something.
really saw those.
Yeah,
I
didn't get
heard
into
they
it.
were just not very good. And I like Affleck, but That was not Tom Hardy. That was Michael Wahlberg, or Mark Wahlberg. Sorry, Mark Wahlberg and the fighter that I was thinking of. With him and Christian Bale there. Continuing, another birthday here. Rapper Kid Cudi turns 42 years old today.
Couldn't name a song. I know the song, but I couldn't have pulled it.
He's a Cleveland kid, isn't he? Am I crazy?
You might be right on that.
I'll take a look.
I know that game was.
I'm not really up on my hip hop, but I for some reason thought he was an Ohio guy.
Cudi with the CUDI, isn't it?
That's correct.
Yeah, I think
it's.
This is the oldest this show has ever sounded. Kid Cudi,
He's
Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, is it?
Hey, look at
Let's
that.
go. I don't know why I knew that, but I did.
Get down with yourself, bro. Good knowledge.
Speaking of
day and night,
Cleveland, Browns legendary quarterback. Don't think he won a game for him, but that's all right. He was sort of a legend in South Bend for a year. Then he got out of shape, and the team couldn't win a game. But nevertheless, Deshaun Kaiser, golden birthday, turning 30 years old today on the 30th.
And a long yard. Brosice. Now it's a fake, and Kaiser's off and running in a seam. The quarterback in Owls territory, winning a foot race. Touchdown, Irish. 79 yards.
Toward the end zone. Touchdown. Will Fuller. 39 yards. What a throw by Kaiser. He bought time and then threw a strike.
I think the one highlight would have been enough on that one there, Cody.
15 as a starter.
Yep.
11 touchdown passes in his career, 24 interceptions.
Wow. If you flip that, though.
Yeah.
In the NFL?
In the NFL, yeah, with the Browns.
He was really good in 2015.
Oh,
and then 2016 was a disaster. And all downhill from there. A couple more birthdays here. Falcons running back Bijan Robinson turns 24 years old today. He was a Buckeye for a few months when he was a senior in high school, if I'm not mistaken there. And then I got the twin Amen Thompson, and then Asar Thompson turning 23 years old today. The NBA players there. Amen plays for the Rockets, and then Asar for the Detroit Pistons.
Not Siamese twins.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That would be. Well, would that count as 6 men on the court?
I don't know if it was a good point. I'm not sure on that.
I hadn't really thought about it.
We got to check the NBA rules on that one.
Yeah. Some passings on this date. All the way back in 1836, Betsy Ross passes away at the age of 84. She is widely credited with being the woman to make the first American flag. As I mentioned earlier, in 1948, passing away at the age of 78 when he was sadly assassinated was Gandhi. Also on this date in 1948, passing away at the age of 76 was Orville Wright, one of the Wright brothers there for the founding flight, first in flight. 1951, passing away at the age of 75 was Ferdinand Porsche. You probably guess what he is involved in there with the last name, founder of the Porsche car company. And then just a few years ago now, at the age of 84, the Hockey Hall of Famer Bobby Hull.
Bobby Hull.
Okay,
yeah,
there we go.
Yep.
Thank you, Tito.
You bet.
And then holidays and observances today. It is National Croissant Day. That's great. What else we got here? National Fun at Work Day.
Hey!
That's having fun at work.
That's National Day. Every
knocked
day
that one out already.
Yes.
That's every day you work at 97.1 The Fan.
That's right.
National Big Wig Day. National Draw a Dinosaur Day, because sure, why not? And then last but not least, it is National Escape Day. Not escape as in like escape prison, but escape as in like get away. You know,
I got you.
Go
Yeah.
on a vacation sort of deal. Which, you know what? Considering it is, per my watch, 1 degree outside right now, I'd be more than willing to go anywhere warm.
Anywhere else, because it's got to be warmer than here.
I often give credit to Ohio State for their ability to hire successful head coaches, and the Steelers for the same reason. Judd Heathcote, you mentioned him earlier, he took over at Michigan State in 1976, coached till 95, and then Izzo took over. So since 1976, Michigan State basketball has had two head coaches.
Jeez.
That's all they've had. So well done as always there, Bodeman. Coming up next, a couple of Ohio State players said something that I wish they wouldn't have. We'll do that. This is Morning Juice.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. You don't want to start the new year off hurting. You don't want to start off the new year getting surgery. You don't want to start off the new year dealing with trying to plan something out into the future, what you want to do is get healthy. So what you want to do is go to my friends over at QC Kinetics. Dr. Tesner and his team, the medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus, they can deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas that are causing you pain. Those achy knees, hips, back, shoulders, whatever it is, they can help you get ready. So instead of those invasive operations, it's going to sideline you all of the early year. Go check out our friends at QC Kinetics and see if they can help you today. Imagine moving better, being stronger, planning your year, doing what actually you want to do. So don't wait. Call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices located in Dublin and Gahanna, and they're already there for your free consultation. So go check them out today.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we.
Brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together,
established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
No Bobby. Sean Carter to my left. Jay-Z. Justin Zwick. It's all one person, guys. I'm just telling you. I'm not there's three people next to me. There's one. But he encompasses all of that. So, Justin, I saw this. Look. And I love these guys, okay? I love Carnell Tate. I love Caleb Downs. Love what they did with the program. But they said something yesterday that is the equivalent of me saying, you know what? Honestly, in his prime, I think I could beat Ali. Because we're never going to know. But they both said that they are convinced that they would beat Indiana in a rematch. And that may be the case. Look, I think Ohio State, can I still say they're the better team even though they're not the national champs? They got beat by Indiana. Is that outlandish to say that?
I don't think anybody would look at you totally crazy if you were to say that. It's just, you play the game on the field and you had a chance to go get them for that rematch and you didn't. So as a player, you always have that comment. Yeah, but to come out and say, I just don't love that part. I would have probably went more of the, hey, it'd be a really good game. I think we did a couple things here and there in that first one where we should have won and we didn't. But yeah, I'm with you and I understand what you're saying. I wish they'd have played it maybe a little bit differently.
By the way, going back to this date in history, I forgot to bring this up, but I'm never going to go back and check like Bodie's work, but I'm convinced that he threw a couple things in there that did not happen on this date in history just because they were Notre Dame or Dallas related. Like there are things that I think he probably found. He looks, oh, this was last week, but hell, Bobby didn't say, I'm going to throw it in here now. And we're not going to check it.
It is a Friday. So
I know, but I'm just
cannot
saying,
guarantee
like
that.
somehow every day there's a Notre Dame birthday.
Listen,
and highlights.
I know Carp's off a handful of days next week as well.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It might be Jeremiah Love's birthday. I don't know that for a fact, but it could
Ryan
be.
Kelly's got a birthday coming up. We're going to celebrate.
If I've done my math correctly, and I don't know if this is true or not, but Tim Brown is 147 years old, from what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not.
We're going to have to check that.
Marcus Freeman, 74. Looks much younger, but somehow he's had 74.
This guy's been having birthdays like crazy.
He had like 5 of them last year when Bobby was off, which is amazing to me. Okay, so, yeah, as a player, yes. And I believe they would win in a rematch. I do. I really think Ohio State would. But you don't say it. That's the thing. You don't talk about that.
Yeah, when you lose the game to them when you played them, it's just hard to come and say, "Oh no, we'd beat them." Like, well,
Yes.
no, well you didn't.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yes. And so, yeah, Tate and Downs both said yes, definitively they would win that. Also, Tate talked about the quarterback he'd like to play with, and there's no way in hell he's going to play with him because he got drafted before this. But he said Josh Allen's the one he wants to play with, and also this one could happen. He also would want to play with the Saints as well. He likes Tyler Shuck more than most people do, I guess. I don't know, but Tate is going to continue this legacy of Ohio State receivers, and JSN, what he was able to do this year. Ibuka, when he wasn't hurt, what he's been able to do, and it's funny that the most, I don't say most disappointing, but Marvin Harrison Jr., and that's because of his circumstances more than anything else, I think, and Garrett Wilson, it's like those were two that I felt the most confident about coming out,
And that's a big thing of the NFL where you get drafted, though,
Yeah.
I mean, Garrett Wilson goes to the Jets, high pick, and they just can't figure out the quarterback position.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's so you're so reliant on a good offense, a good quarterback, somebody that knows what they're doing, and both those guys you just mentioned. I mean, Kyle Murray's he's been decent out there, but with all the the video games coming out, all the stuff about him, like when the video game comes out, his production on the field goes down, and they're in bad situations, and so it's tough. But I love Carnell being like, yeah, I would love to go play with Josh. Like who wouldn't? Like. That would be ideal, no doubt about it. You're too good. You're going to go to one of those teams that's picking in the top 10.
I would like to see the Bills, though, make some kind of move up and get him. I think it'd be fun. But we had Ted Ginn in studio, not here with us, but he was on, it was Bishop and Friends, right, Bodie?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Bishop and Friends yesterday, and he is the new head coach of the Columbus Aviators of the UFL. And they announced their coordinators this week, and one of them was surprising to me. Todd Haley. Former head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs for 3 seasons, and he's going to be the OC for Ted Ginn over there. And I'm just be honest, you guys. Will either one of you go to a game this year?
No,
absolutely not.
You
won't
won't
even watch now. Won't even watch a second. I could not be further out on non-NFL and college football leagues.
Now I'm not out on it.
Right.
If it's on TV. And it's a weekend and nothing's going on, background noise for sure, I'll check in on it, especially because, Teddy's coaching and, know some of these guys. But going to a game, I don't go to Ohio State games. Yeah. I would rather watch those on TV, in the comfort of my own home. So, I just don't like going to stuff where there's people. So if it's on TV, I'll give it a shout or, a little bit of a look.
Their home opener is April 3rd at Historic Crew Stadium. Do either one of you guess what the lowest price for a season ticket is?
$20.
I mean, it's got to be like $100.
$65. You can get a season ticket there. It's the lowest price there. Yeah, $65. And I'll be honest, it's not that big of a stadium, so there's not a bad seat.
If you get a decent crowd, that place will fill up. It's a small little stadium. We had the North-South All-Star game there when I was coming out, and I think it's a perfect. They did the spring game. Ohio State spring game there when I was getting recruited. That's when they went 4 or 5 wide the entire spring game and just threw the ball around my junior year in high school.
Did you have a good North-South game?
No, I got my butt kicked.
Did you really?
Oh, man. That defensive line for the South was all over me. It was terrible.
I think I'll go check out a game. It's funny to me. Most people probably don't remember how successful the USFL was for the short term it was there, like when it first came out and what they were doing.
Yeah, that was back with Elway, right?
No, that was Steve Young was there.
Steve Young, okay.
Jim Kelly played in it.
Elway.
Herschel Walker, Flutie.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that played in it.
Yeah, that always amazes me because, hey, to each their own, but I could not possibly care less about these leagues. Like, I love football
Was
season.
that like live golf to the PGA back in the day, the USFL to the NFL?
Not really, because it was, I mean, they got Heisman Trophy winners to come.
Were they just paying them more money than the NFL was?
Yeah, they were paying them more money. And it was a spring league, spring and summer league. And then people got tired of it real quick when they, the problem was, and I'm not getting into politics here, but Donald Trump wanted to own an NFL team for a long time, and he could never get one. And so he goes and buys into the New Jersey Generals. And
How do you feel about ice, Tito?
And convinces some of the other owners to switch to a fall league. And there was like the long-time successful owners were like, no, we got to stay here. He said, no, we're going head-to-head with the NFL. We want to take them down. And then that's when it all fell apart. And they, but yeah, they got Herschel. They got Mike Rozier out of Nebraska, running back. Herschel Walker signed, I think it was after his junior year, like when he didn't test the NFL water, went straight to the USFL because Trump paid him a lot of money. But yeah, they had some really good players there that came over. Reggie White started in the USFL. Right? There were some really good players. Tim Spencer, former Buckeye running back.
I mean, he's running back coach when I was there. Spence was the man.
Chicago Blitz, I think, was the name of that team. But yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. I don't think anybody will be able to compete with the NFL like the USFL did for a couple years.
No chance. Not now.
I think they've given up on even trying to compete with them, and they're saying, hey, we're just trying to have something in the springtime, give these other guys a chance to keep playing football and get some film and, try and – I mean, are they like a farm league to the NFL in a way?
Yeah, kind of.
We'll take your unwanted, we'll give them a chance to go out and perform and get it on video and, give you guys, some extra reps.
Football is so popular in this country, obviously, that if you throw it on at a time of year when we don't have the
people are hungry for it because it's like we got nothing else going on.
I might do it since it's going to be so cheap. I might take my 9-year-old son out there. He might want to go out there and watch it and check it out. And but
I guess you're not probably going to have to deal with too much traffic and things of that sort.
Yeah. So. Probably not going to be quite the same.
It's probably not like an Ohio State game day. So I got to get that out of my head.
Bill says, Brody, you sound like a hater. Wow. Must be life.
Just general.
The fact you don't think except for NFL and college football. You're hating on the AV.
I love football, but I also like when it's the off season too.
Sure.
I don't need it 12 months out of the year.
I know.
And I don't need to watch, with all due respect to the players, a lesser game. Let's just call it what it is. Like, those guys aren't nearly as. I mean, I know they're pros, and if you want to get into like the age factor and whatnot, but like those games aren't even probably as like well played as a college football game, right?
I wouldn't
that's probably fair to say. And I know it's hard to compare because
but
we've cared about college football in this country for more than 100 years, so these other leagues just isn't going to be able to compete with Ohio State and Oregon on a given weekend day. But
yeah, you wonder how one of those, like a blue blood program college, would do against one of those teams.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah,
because when they say NFL, like no
chance.
But when you get to that, like you might have a team that could roll with them.
I just hope. I know the roster already out. I don't think there's many or any former Buckeyes on the roster, but if they would sprinkle some former Buckeyes in there that didn't pan out in the NFL, I'd like to see that. That'd be the way to do it.
I think moving forward as this goes, that's probably what they end up. It would be smart business in my opinion.
Exactly.
No doubt.
Oh, hey, you didn't make it, and there's no other option for guys when you leave football. Like back when I was coming out, it was like NFL Europe just shut down.
Right.
Arena ball wasn't, I think arena ball was still going, but if you wanted to play like outdoor football, you either made it or you didn't.
Yeah.
And so it's cool that this type of, because I would have tried to play in a league like this if I would have come out, if it had been around back in my day. So it's cool just to give those guys a chance.
Brady played to his 45. I'm just saying, you're not 45 yet. Just giving you a thought there.
Hey, I hurt my back with a snowblower on Monday. So I don't know. I came inside how did that happen? I wasn't even doing anything, and I hurt my back.
I would like you to watch the first 4 Rocky movies in order and then get motivated and then go to Siberia or what
Rocky
was
4 is all I need.
Yeah, Jackson Hole, Wyoming is where they filmed the Siberia scenes for that fight, for that movie, as we learned from Fish the other day. All right, coming up next, do some quick hitters, Morning Juice.
Hey, everybody, it's Berm from the Austin and Berm Show on 97.1 The Fan. There are a lot of reasons that we should be working to get healthier and happier in our lives, but one of the unexpected benefits of losing weight, my wife no longer elbows me in the ribs at 2 a.m. I didn't realize how bad the snoring had gotten until it's gotten better. And that's the kind of change I'd hope to achieve when I lost 35 pounds with Awaken 180 weight loss. 35 pounds down in just 6 weeks and officially under 200 pounds for the first time in 25 years. That number still feels fake when I say it out loud, but it's real. And what's just as real is how good everything else feels. There are no joint flare-ups. I'm moving around a lot better and never feels like a chore. I'm aware of when things feel wrong, and I'm also aware when things feel right. Thanks to my Awaken 180 coach, Mandy, I've learned how to eat, how to adjust, and now I'm heading into maintenance with a plan. That's what Awaken 180 really does. It teaches you how to keep going once the weight is gone. Free support for life with the solution for weight loss. Go to awaken180weightloss.com.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at mda.org today.
Hey guys, 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion Jason McCourty here, and I'm an innovation ambassador at FAIR, Food Allergy and Research Education. I would say the most challenging thing as a parent of a kid who has a food allergy is probably the ignorance that I myself had in the beginning. I didn't know what anaphylactic shock was. I didn't know the dangers, let alone the things that she needed to be able to have a normal life. When you go to drop your kid off, and every single time in the beginning, we'd have to go through everything she was allergic to. Preparation is everything. And me, for playing football for 13 years, it was all throughout the course of the week. It's getting ready for game day. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook, read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Because when my family's safe from food allergens, that's the real victory. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
We built a brand new studio just for Bobby, and Tito has already ruined it just by being here. I'm pregnant. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. I've been corrected, as I often am in the chat. Bill mentioned there's a Buckeye offensive lineman on the team, and he is correct by that one. I've been doing my research now that I should have done last night. Matthew Jones, guard from Ohio State, 6'4", 316 on the team. Also, G. Scott, the tight end, is on the team as well. So a couple of Buckeyes
recent.
there.
I mean, G came out, 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago, yeah.
So
he was on the title team last year, wasn't he?
Was he on the title team? He
also.
Oh, you know what? I think you're right.
That was his
because
last
then we
year.
brought Max in because
Yeah.
we lost. We have so many tight ends, it's hard to keep track of them all.
I know. All right, Bodie, let's do some quick hitters.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
All right, Bodie.
All right, guys. Friday, best day of the work week. We'll start here. Hot takes just pouring out this week with the Hall of Fame snub with Bill Belichick. We got another one here. Part of the reason I love Awful Announcing's website is sometimes the name of it is just so on the nose you almost can't believe it. And that's where I found this story right here. Rob Parker, a longtime sports journalist, he was on the Stephen A. Smith show earlier this week, and he had a scorching hot take when talking about the Bill Belichick Pro Football Hall of Fame snub. He said, quote, "Where's the punishment? Shouldn't there be some integrity, honesty in the Hall of Fame? I think it goes hand in hand. Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds is not in the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens is not in the Hall of Fame. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady should not be in the Hall of Fame either." Stephen A., flabbergasted, asked, "You don't think Tom Brady should be a first ballot Hall of Famer?" And Parker responded saying, "No way, no how. Tom Brady is best described as Lance Armstrong without the bicycle. They cheated. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are connected at the hip. This is what should happen. Look at Robert Kraft. He's been denied 13 years in a row. He's not in the Hall of Fame as an owner, although he's probably going to be soon." Tito, what are we talking about here, man? Yeah, I understand the Spygate. I don't understand why anybody cares about Deflategate. I don't even care if they actually did do it or not.
Was Spygate even really that bad?
I don't remember, honestly.
Okay.
Like, I was like just young enough to where I remember.
That's
kind of
where I was. Like, I was in college,
but
kinda,
don't remember following it enough. But
with Spygate, recording practices of other teams,
and that was like that legit. They had them dead to rights. They did that.
They did some recording and from different angles you're not supposed to be able
and
to.
That was like Super Bowl week, like in the Super Bowl stadium?
No, I don't think it was. I could be wrong. I can't remember what exactly it was. It might have been that.
I thought it was the playoffs.
Might have been the playoffs,
Okay.
but playoffs. First of all, Rob Parker is getting exactly what he wants.
Yeah, he's just
people
getting
talk
attention.
about it.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, I know.
And now it comes out, and he's going to be everywhere today.
And look, Deflategate is stupid. Deflategate is stupid because Aaron Rodgers even said, I believe it was Aaron Rodgers, he used to overinflate balls because
I feel like other quarterbacks come out and said, like, we mess with
they've done it,
the
yeah,
footballs.
because they throw it better. Now, the big reason they got in trouble for Deflategate was I think it was because they lied about it to the commissioner. When he asked them about it, and they lied about it and got caught. I think that was the big crux on that one. But Rob Parker's an idiot. Or maybe he's a genius because we're talking about it. But yes, look, I don't believe that any of those guys should be kept out of the Hall of Fame over something like that. It's not the same as steroids, in my opinion. Steroids.
I don't even think it's close.
No, like that right there is not. So no, I think Rob Parker's an idiot for that. And actually, I feel a little bit dirty saying I agree with Stephen A. Smith.
To have Stephen A. Smith flabbergasted is actually kind of you really got to say something because that guy says a little bit of everything. It's just for clicks. This guy. I mean, you can't really. I don't know. Maybe you can really feel that way. I just don't know how anybody who's sane looks at what Bill Belichick and Tom Brady did in New England and says, those two guys.
Maybe not.
I mean, when you're so successful for so long and people are coming at you every year. You're you have a couple little things that happen throughout your careers. I mean, whatever.
We figured it up yesterday, Jay-Z, that 20% of the Super Bowls have involved Belichick.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to write a one-page history on the NFL, Bill Belichick's probably going to be in that one-pager.
Yep.
And just to add to that a little bit, just a quick Wikipedia search here. And as Michael Scott once said, Wikipedia is the best. You get the best info from people who put it on there, and they know best. After an investigation, the NFL fined Patriots head coach, this is for Spygate, the Patriots fined head coach Bill Belichick $500,000. That was the maximum allowed by the league. The Patriots were fined $250,000 as a team. And they lost their first-round pick in the 2008 NFL Draft, which would have been 31 overall. So they were already punished.
Yeah.
I mean, at what point, like, you ground a kid for the weekend, okay? Do you ground him 6 years later because he, for whatever reason? Like, no. Like, at some point, first off, to suggest that those, what they did there with Spygate and Deflategate is worthy of being kept out of the Hall of Fame is ridiculous. But, like, Tom Brady was suspended the first month of the year after that.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, when Pete Rose got in trouble, they, suspended him from playing. Or he was done with the league in itself, right?
Yeah,
so it wasn't like they waited until he retired and then like, oh, you're not going to make it to the Hall of Fame because you did this. It was like, oh, you did this, you're out. It wasn't, Brady didn't get kicked out of the league because of anything.
Right.
I mean, you punished him and he sat out. And
I'm also of the opinion, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but like I'm of the opinion that Hall of Fames should be about telling the history of the game. And like you can put in there, like Bill Belichick had these scandals off the field.
Yeah,
like,
when you put his little plaque up or whatever in there and you write about the history of what he went through.
It's perfectly fine to me to say Pete Rose was banned for X amount of years because he was gambling on the games that he was managing.
Betting on his teams to win.
But the fact that he shouldn't be in, to me, is just ridiculous.
I read the article. Stephen A. Smith said he almost had a heart attack when he said that. When Parker said
Stephen
that,
A. kind of inflates things sometimes.
A little bit,
He's not Stephen A.
Slightly.
Some college football here, guys. We have seen many changes to the sport over the last handful of years, and we could be seeing another one this offseason here that we're in now. Although I think this one actually would get pretty much everybody on board. Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports has reported that the targeting rule and foul could be undergoing a change. Steve Shaw, the national coordinator of officials and the NCAA's secretary rules editor, told Yahoo Sports we're going to be having a discussion on targeting this offseason. That needs to be an annual discussion, and it will be a focus of our discussion. What targeting has driven in terms of player behavior change has been really good, and the numbers reflect that. But how can we continue this trend of taking out more of these dangerous hits, but maybe keeping the punishment of in the game there less punitive for the player? Dellinger, this was his idea. As I was reading the article, I couldn't quite tell if this was. He wasn't reporting it, but I'm guessing he didn't just make it up out of thin air either. He floated the idea of making the targeting penalty, more like flagrant fouls in basketball. So you kind of have different levels of it to it. And he mentioned the idea that the lesser of the two could be still 15 yards, but without disqualifying players, and then still have the flagrant two, I guess, if you will, targeting two, where players still could be disqualified. So Jay-Z, the targeting rule has been a mess basically since it showed up. The amount of times either egregious hits aren't called or reviewed, or
little
tough
ones are,
hits, but not targeting is called. I think this is a good idea. Hopefully we can find. It's never going to be perfect, but it can't be any worse. I would.
No, yeah, I mean it's pretty bad, and the inconsistencies just drive fans absolutely crazy. You're making the game safer, I guess. They're saying the numbers are down, and they like that. That's good. I don't think you should sit a kid for a half of a game because of something that happens in a split second when they're out on that field. They don't want a 15-yard penalty. They don't want their coaches yelling at them. Like, they didn't do that on purpose to try. Like, the 15-yard penalty is bad enough, in my opinion. I think, you had a kid, sitting out, I think, because that's sitting out the national championship game because he has a play that happens really quick in the semifinals. It's like, man, you're taking that away from that kid because something that is hard to, I mean, you're moving very fast on that football field.
It happens.
Split seconds, sometimes it's going to happen. Is it the intent? How do you measure that? How do you call that? I don't know how you fix it, but it's I would be all for them saying, hey, 15-yard penalty. If it is a spear, you're coming head down, fine. I get that, but I wish they'd get rid of it. But loosening it up a little bit and leaving guys in the games, I think is a big move.
See, and what's interesting, you could, if a quarterback, we'll just use quarterbacks now. If the quarterback though turns his head a certain way at the last second. And the guy can't stop. Then you got to decide, was he trying to hit him in the head, or was he trying
or did he fall at this last second and he's already there? And I mean that's why it's so. And and I was an old quarterback. I didn't like getting hit, but I understand how the game is played and how things go. And I think even in some of the old time quarterbacks like the Bradys or the Rodgers, like they've seen the game change so much since they started playing in the NFL, or even when they were younger. And it's like they don't even like it. Like the game's so soft now. Like what are we doing?
I've had conversations with Carp, I think it was Spielman too, and maybe with Laurinaitis once. But when you're playing football on the defensive side, you want to discourage guys from coming over the middle. You want to make them think they're going to, and so you want to hit hard. Mm-hmm. And I always ask them, what's the difference between hitting hard and trying to injure somebody? Like, it's because how do you know? If somebody that's coming to somebody, you want to send a message, right? You want to make sure that guy knows that coming across the middle is going to be dangerous for you. Mm-hmm. And how do you know the difference between how hard to hit them? You don't go and try to grab their leg and break it, but I'm saying if you hit them though, you want to hit people really hard. Yeah. And if you're a defensive end, you want to hit the quarterback really hard, so he's hearing footsteps. Yeah. So, and like when Darnold used to see ghosts, he said, you want to do that. And it's fascinating to me, like how you find that line, or if there is even a line, and they're just blowing smoke up my ass because there's not a line. They're going to try to. Because it's a violent game.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to hit you as hard as they can in the chest. If you got a small receiver coming across the middle or something, like you're not going to lead with a head. You don't need to if you're Bobby and some little receivers coming across. He's going to feel you. But yeah, where is that line, and how do you
I don't know how you could do it as a player,
because you don't want to get a penalty.
Don't want to get a penalty,
and now they're like taking away the blind side. The blind side blocks that used to be huge back in the day.
Right.
Like if you're running a pitch like that receiver. My freshman year at Orville, boy, we had a receiver didn't catch a pass, but all he did was come down and wallop people when we were running pitches. Like you can't do that anymore.
It's just look, I know that they're trying to make it safer. I get it, but part of me is like
safer, but adding more games.
Add more games, right? These guys are going to keep getting bigger, stronger, faster.
Safer, but we still need the money, JC.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, back in the 70s, a bunch of beer drinking, cigarette smoking guys out there playing. and there wasn't like these Adonises out there with these bodies of the gods.
Yeah, there's no more smoking cigs on the side.
No, there's no more of that. I was reading an article about George McGinnis, the basketball player from the 70s. Who was really good in the NBA. He talked about how the team told him to stop smoking, and he couldn't bring cigarettes into practice. And he said reporters were giving him cigarettes, like they'd help him out, give him cigarettes in practice. So,
why not?
Yeah.
Last one here, guys, coming in from The Athletic. They did a survey of all 32 NHL home arenas. They broke it down into 4 different categories. So we got location, amenities, atmosphere, and affordability. And coming in very high on the list of the 32 at number 6 was Nationwide Arena, the home of the Columbus Blue Jackets. I thought it was kind of interesting here. So the writers had them ranked at 15, so about middle of the pack, but the fans put it all the way up at number 4. So this is what we had here from The Athletic. Location was ranked 3rd. Amenities was 12th. Atmosphere was 20th, so a little lower on that end there. That was
surprising to me, actually.
Yeah. And then affordability, that was 1st. So we got that going for us here. This was the little snippet here in the article from The Athletic. Quote, Blue Jackets fans are quietly some of the best in the league, given how little they've had to cheer for in the franchise's history. And these survey results help highlight their genuine affection for their team. Columbus folks stuffed the voting with a ton of love for Nationwide, praising the location in the bustling arena district, the great sightlines and unique design of the building. More winning would certainly make it a better spot, but as is, the Blue Jackets home punches above its weight, even if you don't love the cannon that goes off after every home goal. It's got a few snippets in here, quotes as well from fan perspective. It's been open since 2000 and is as clean and well maintained as the day it opened. Atmosphere for games is pretty good considering the team hasn't been very successful. Nationwide is truly a hidden gem and a must visit if you're in town. Amazing fans, the unique cannon, great game in atmosphere. All around elite NHL atmosphere, very, very few bad seats. And then I got one more here. There are a lot of good things around about Nationwide Arena. The bad thing, our team. So, Tito, not a surprise there. I don't know that I've come across anybody in town here that's ever been to a game that didn't enjoy it.
Right.
And that's coming even, too, from people who aren't, like, diehard hockey fans.
Right. Look, when the Jackets when it was first announced years ago, 27 years ago, probably when they announced it, though, that the Jackets were going to be a thing, I was like, I don't know if hockey's going to work here. Because, we had all these, most hockey fans in Central Ohio at that time were either Red Wings or Sabres. They were
they already went to a team.
And so I thought that's going to be tough. But after my first time going, and I've probably been to now, I bet 150 Jackets games in my time. And I love it every time. And I love taking people there who haven't been to a game before there. They do a fantastic job of the in-game stuff. Mike Todd, who's the in-game announcer, does a lot of great things there. And you're right. It's easy to get in and out. It's not like a big pain in the butt getting out of the place. And it is affordable. And God, it really is. It really is a lot of fun. I'm 6th, fine, but I haven't been to many other NHL arenas. Matter of fact, I've never been to another NHL arena.
I was going to say, because I was looking at that list thinking like, well, I don't think I've ever been to a hockey game anywhere else.
I've been to the Chill games when they used to be at the fairgrounds, and I've been to Jackets games. But yeah, it's fantastic. I love it there. They're professional. The way they do is very good.
Yeah. I just went to a game for the first time in a couple of years this year.
Yeah.
Sold out.
Yeah.
Great crowd on a Saturday afternoon. I mean, it was awesome. They do an awesome job down there, and you should get to more. I feel like for me, going to a hockey game is like when you go bowling. You're like, this is a lot of fun. We should do this more. And then you just don't do it for like another year.
Yeah. Coming up next, I want to do a deeper dive into the Belichick snub. We'll do that next. This is Morning Juice.
My mom is a veteran, and she was injured in the line of duty.
I hurt my leg in a training accident when she was only 2 years old.
She had 7 different surgeries over the span of 9 years, and there were tons of complications.
I couldn't be the mom my kids needed me to be.
She missed so much.
After my last surgery, I got an infection so bad I thought it was going to kill me.
I told her she couldn't leave me yet. There was still so much she had to see. I hadn't even graduated.
I'm doing much better now. I may have lost my leg, but I've gained so much. I'm an active part of my kids' lives.
She can kick a mean soccer ball.
DAV's been there for me and my family. Through thick and thin, they've had our back.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Sandy get the health and disability benefits they've earned, so they can achieve victories great and small.
My victory is getting my life back. I got my joy back.
We got our mom back, thanks to DAV.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Miss Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Morning Juice. Tito, Bodie, Justin Zwick in the house. And I want to get this discussion about Bill Belichick thing. Now, there's some rumors. I don't think this will happen, but there's some rumors about a revote. Rumors about the Pro Football Hall of Fame overriding the vote and announcing Belichick in the class. I don't know if those things will happen or not. But there's a couple of ways to look at this. When they do the Basketball Hall of Fame, which encompasses college and pros, it's all done in a secret ballot, and it's not revealed, like percentages of who gets what vote and whatnot. It's not, they don't reveal anything. Baseball goes the other way. Baseball reveals the voting percentages because you have to get to a certain threshold. I think it's 75% to get in. And that's all public there. We know, although we don't know the exact numbers of how this committee, how it played out with this, but he needed to get 40 of the 50 votes, Belichick did, and he fell short of that. So I find it interesting, Justin, that in baseball, only one player's ever got 100% of the vote, Mariano Rivera. But there are certain people, like Ichiro didn't get it, there's certain players that you know were Hall of Famers. But there's some people out there who didn't think they were Hall of Famers, at least the first time around. All right, so we've got a situation where, there's people that only one time has everyone agreed. I mean, how Babe Ruth didn't get 100% of the vote when he was doing it. We discussed that the other day. But, we all believe Bill Belichick's a Hall of Famer. But if you're going to put it in the hands of voters, I bet when LeBron comes up for Hall of Fame, I bet somebody's going to vote. He's going to vote no his first time through. And if you can accept that somebody's going to do it, then why is it so hard to believe that not more than one person does it? You know what I mean? If
it's out there and it's in the world for somebody to think that way,
right,
then others could possibly think that way.
So
I get what you're saying. I just don't know. I mean, if you're in the sport and you cover the sport and
right,
you are one of those people that has a vote,
yep,
for something as prestigious as the Hall of Fame, like you got to. Yeah, I don't know. I go back and forth because you read the guys and it's like, well, these other coaches were deserving. It's maybe their last time on and they've been left off, and we want to make sure they get their due. I understand that, but then it's like you have a coach who has a whole lot more going for him. So if you're looking at it, you got to pick the one that has, the 6 Super Bowl rings and the 9 appearances and 30-some playoff wins. I mean, he has the top in a lot of categories as a head coach. So
it's imperfect.
It is.
And you can't expect perfect results from an imperfect system.
Yeah.
And so
now I'll say this, Mike Leach passed college football.
Right.
Different.
Yeah.
He was not up for, they didn't make him go the amount of time. I don't believe.
I think it was like a winning percentage thing for him, right?
Yeah, it was something like that. I think they made a, hey, we're going to go ahead and do this type thing. Now, so I think you can't do that if you're one of these establishments, but
they also probably, because only so many can get in in a given year, it's probably time to do away with that rule, is it not?
That might be the next thing to do, yeah.
At least decide 1 year, like, hey, you know what? Unlimited votes. Like, tell me if, however the voting system would work.
Yeah.
Check yes or no if this guy's a Hall of Famer. We'll put in 50 guys this year if we need to. And I'm sure a lot of those, maybe aren't even with us anymore, unfortunately. But that's part, like, I understand why people, it's hard to even say. I understand why people wouldn't vote for Belichick. But, like, I can understand the thought process of, like, well, this is this guy's last year on the ballot.
Belichick's going to get in.
Yes, exactly. But it's a flawed system then.
Sure.
And they probably should just at some point just decide, like, hey, we're going to do just a makeup vote, essentially.
Yeah.
And anybody who, like, should be in is now in. That way, moving forward, we don't have issues where it's just like, well, Belichick will get in. We'll get him next year. But this guy who's been on the ballot for X amount of years, we got to get him in.
Well, on the flip side of that, do you just say we're not going to allow them to be on the ballot for so many years so you can't run into this situation like, hey, these old guys have had 20 years to get in and we just kept kicking it down the road, but now all of a sudden we want to put our foot down because they need to be in.
Right.
If you've been on the ballot that long, maybe you're not a Hall of Famer.
Maybe you get 2 or 3 ballots.
Look, man, Hall of really good, and there's a lot of people who would be in that one.
Because I don't think we need to just be putting everybody into the Hall of Fame.
Completely agree.
I think
pro
we need
football, like, as much as this has been a mess this week, I actually give them credit because they seem to be the one that actually still, it feels worthy. Basketball lets everybody in. Baseball writer, the people who vote on the Baseball Hall of Fame, you want to talk about people who live a holier than thou life,
right?
Like you mentioned a second ago, Mariano being the only one who's gotten 100% of the vote is completely ridiculous. But there are so many Baseball Hall of Famers, Hall of Fame voters who just have this, like, Jeter, not in my book.
Right.
And you're just
or they had a bad experience with him one time, and it's just like, hate that
dude,
guy.
You got to get over yourself.
And so that's the thing, though, where it's never going to be perfect. But a writer from Kansas City who voted at the Hall of Fame, came out and said he did not vote for Belichick. And his reasoning was there's 5 names on that list. It was Kraft, Belichick, it was Ken Anderson, it was Roger Craig, and
is it LC?
It was LC Greenwood from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, he said he voted for those 3 guys, the former players, not Belichick and Kraft. He voted for those 3 guys because he knew if they did not get voted in now, they were done. They have no chance. They're off the ballot. So that's why he did it. He said, I believe Belichick's Hall of Famer, yes. But he also believed Belichick, like you say, will get in eventually, which, Bodie, so it should be.
But are we just putting guys in because, well, this might be the last time?
Exactly.
That's where
it's not supposed to
like,
be
I understand that thought
award.
process in a way, but you've had a chance to vote for them every other year maybe, and you picked other people over top of them. And so you're going to pick them over the best, one of the best coaches to ever do it.
Yeah.
Probably the best.
Now,
let's call it what it is.
Yeah, let's just call it what it is. Yeah, but you're all of a sudden
NFL,
now going to decide, oh, no, I need to get these other guys in. So I think that is just a way for them to kind of, hey, I did this, and this is why, and you can't, like they at least have a reason, but you pass on those guys before, so why are we doing it all of a sudden now?
And
you're
I think
on your high horse.
I think Breer kind of like said this yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was Thursday. And I agreed with his line of thinking completely. He basically was like, the Hall of Fame, like when it comes to voting, it almost shouldn't really be up for debate. if you look at a guy, it should be more often than not, it's probably going to be pretty point blank.
Yeah, you hear a name, you're like, yep, Hall of Famer.
Yes, exactly. If I say the name Bill Belichick, you don't even have to think about it. If I say Tom Brady, you don't even have to think about it. If I say Phillip Rivers, heck of a career, was really good for a long time.
You got to think about that one, though.
But if you're thinking about it, he's probably not a Hall of Famer. And if some of these guys have been on the ballots, like we said, for... Look, I get it. I'm not saying it should be 1 year, obviously.
Right.
And I don't know what the cutoff would be, but it probably shouldn't be 2 decades.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like, oh, you played back in the 60s, you're still on here, and we're going to go ahead and put you in now. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
The last 60 years.
And so I'm thinking through it. I was trying to think of ways to do it differently. And I came up with this idea that could never work. So I'm going to share it with you. It would never work. It's a stupid idea.
Fan vote.
No. That's what you do. If somebody is no doubt, we'll say Belichick, Hall of Famer, okay? The Hall of Fame come out and says, all right, this class is going to include Bill Belichick. Vote for everybody else. Go do your voting. You know what I mean? Like, they come out and say, we have determined, no matter what you want to say, this guy's a Hall of Famer.
I think that's a great idea, honestly. I don't think that's a bad idea at all. I don't know who determines that.
That's what I'm thinking about.
But it is. It's like... I don't know. Maybe you go to somebody who's not a sports fan. Be like, hey, Bill Belichick, we have this thing called the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And we put the best coaches, players, NFL contributors ever in there.
Like, look at these numbers. We're not going to tell you a name, but who needs to be
would you put
automatically
Bill Belichick in the Hall? Like, you could go
man
to
on the street autograph.
Exactly. I was just like, I was going to, like my sister who does not, her sports knowledge is basically limited to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's relationship. I think I could go to her and be like, hey, Maddie, you think Bill Belichick should be in the Hall of Fame, like this place where they put the best to ever do it?
Yeah.
If her answer's an automatic, like,
right,
that's probably good enough.
Yeah, that's why it could be multiple players. When Brady retired, when Brady's eligible, hey guys, listen, Brady's Hall of Fame. We're not voting on it. Let's go with these other guys now. And just do it.
And it's something
way.
that you wouldn't have to use every year either.
No,
you're not going to have that type of thing every year.
Right. Sometimes it wouldn't happen that way. So, but it's. And I know that the Hall of Fame said they're going to investigate, see if they need to pull some people, or take them off the committee because of why they're voting.
The bylaws.
Yeah,
they didn't follow the bylaws.
Right.
I'm like, hey, what are those bylaws?
This is like when we had Tulane and JMU get in this year.
Yes, right.
Like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Like, this can't happen ever
But the
again.
bylaws.
Yeah, we need a common sense committee, a CSC.
Yeah. I think the shame of it, too, is like, you feel for the guys who are going to get in if Belichick doesn't, because the whole thing will just be about Bill not getting in. And that's not fair to those guys, and it's not their fault, but that's where this whole thing was just so screwed up.
Do you think him going to North Carolina has hurt him in this, or was it the way he kind of just treated all the media people throughout his career? I mean, do you think some of that is playing into this?
I don't think North Carolina is, but I think the way he treated the media is. And there are some people talking the holier thou thing with the Spygate and the Deflategate and that. They're trying to pin that on him. But I think, more so the fact that the way he did things. And I brought it to Bob yesterday when, I thought it was a bad look for him when he resigned as HC of the NYJ on the napkin. Not that he did anything wrong by doing it, just the way it was handled. It was a bad look for him. And there may be some people still upset about that or bothered by that. Maybe a Jets writer who was on the thing, or Jets, somebody who follows the Jets will be in there. So...
And it's not Spygate or Deflategate, but if you start writing down those things, if you're looking for reasons not to vote for them, you maybe add it to the list.
Yeah, right. That's on to Cincinnati, whatever. That kind of stuff. He just was very flippant and wasn't good with the press necessarily. And so that could be part of it also. And it's always going to be that way if you have media people involved, because they have the interactions with these
feelings.
people.
Yeah, they have emotions. And, yeah.
And if I'm a reporter, and
Emmett Smith is trying to get in, you're like, no, screw that guy.
If I touch Emmett Smith, that day I decided Emmett Smith not a Hall of Famer. Right there, he became not a Hall of Famer.
I don't care if he's a leading rusher in the NFL.
Bo Jackson shouldn't be the Auburn Hall of Fame. Get him out of that if he's there. But so when those emotions play into it, it's human nature. I got to believe it's hard to separate that. It's hard to separate that. And by the way, Bodie, I came up with my idea that you said was a great idea. The reason I determined it was not a great idea was because I know that Bobby would ask me, well, who makes that call?
You do, Tito.
Right. Well, Bob, I don't know.
I'm the captain now.
Roger Goodell.
That's right. Yeah, just somebody.
Hey, it's your idea.
You're right. It could be me. I thought about starting my own Hall of Fame.
You need to start tweeting the Hall of Fame and just tell them, hey, I got a great idea for you guys.
Yeah.
I'll do this for you.
I'll do it free of charge. These guys also do it free of charge. They do all these debating and stuff. When they do all these meetings for this, they don't get paid to do it. It's all something they spend their time doing it, and they do all of that. We still, and by the way, a side note on this, a side nugget if you're Sligs. They have not announced the results yet. They have not officially announced the results yet.
Which probably, is that typical?
Is there a recount? Is there a water break and a recount
I think
going on?
they do it like the Saturday or something before the Super Bowl.
No, that's right, because they video going around and giving.
Right, So they do it around
so it'd
that
be
time.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, so it'd be next week, right?
Oh, you mean
probably
the
during
day before
Super Bowl
the
week?
During
Okay,
Super Bowl week,
I thought you meant a week.
No, I think so. And I'm not saying that this would happen, but there might be a chance.
When they put out a statement, I was like,
we missed a vote.
Something got messed up here. We're going to look into it.
Yeah.
Maybe they come out and say, yeah, we're just going to go ahead
Al Gore's in the Hall
and
of
do
Fame. Do a recount on it. But it also came out that Eli Manning's not getting in again. That's been
Which, once again,
reported.
to me, he's another Hall of Famer. I don't know.
Yeah, the Super Bowl wins.
Yes, I know.
The beating the undefeated Patriots helps him a little bit, I think.
For sure. I think he'll get in eventually.
I think so,
I also
too.
think
But he wasn't like Peyton. I mean, Peyton was like done.
Yeah, he's not a first ballot, no questions asked.
Yeah. Right.
And I think Eli is another guy that, on the flip side of things, talking about Bill Belichick being sometimes a little bit of an a-hole, I think most people, even if you're not a Giants fan, like Eli. You like the family.
Yeah, once you got past
the nice
whole,
guy,
we're not going here to play, we're going to do this. Once you get past
true.
that.
Yeah. And even that,
he's
I
just
think
a nice, likable guy.
Back
That's just
far
business.
enough in mind that people don't really care anymore. And
it happened before you got in the league, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think most people would be like, hey, I like Eli, I like Peyton. Monday night.
I like their commercials. I like their, I like all the stuff
funny.
they
The
do.
Monday night football broadcast that they do is fun. And so, maybe you're a big Texas fan. You think Arch is great, too.
It is.
Put him in the Hall of Fame.
It all depends on how much you weigh the Super Bowl wins into it.
Yeah. Which is it's a hard debate because he wasn't even that great in those
No,
games,
he
really.
wasn't.
But he made some huge plays.
Some huge plays.
And he had receivers make huge plays.
That's true.
Yeah, but you got to put the ball there for the receiver to make the play. Come on.
I knew the quarterback.
You got to put the ball
I should
there.
have watched what I was saying there. I mean, if I'm sitting here with Sans and Bach, he's like, yeah, you're right. That's a good call, Tito. Of course, Justin's going to say no.
But even in those games, I mean, they scored 20-some odd points both times.
He was mediocre in those games.
Yeah.
And so
2 Super Bowls and beating the dynasty twice.
That was the helmet catch, wasn't it?
What was the helmet catch?
Yeah, that was the helmet catch.
The other one was Manningham.
The other one was Manningham down the sideline, coming out of his own end zone.
Yeah.
I remember that ball.
And
oh, man, it was beautiful.
Yeah, those were big plays. And so, I think he will get in. But the problem is that also, so you say Eli much more deserving than Rivers?
I mean, I would say so because of the postseason success.
Okay.
Fair or not. It does
Right.
have to, count.
Sure.
You can't just, completely ignore it.
Right.
And I don't know what some of his numbers were in those games leading up to it.
Right.
But that counts, too.
Sure.
You win 2-3 playoff games just to get to the Super Bowl, and then you win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, is anybody
It
looking at
matters.
Tom
It's not-
Brady's, stats in all those Super Bowls? I mean, he needed a kicker to get him out of how many big games
Sure.
to get him to Super Bowls.
Yeah,
so they may not have been lighting the world up, but he still has 6 rings.
I think the first 2 or 3 Super Bowls.
7.
Oh, sorry, Tampa
yeah,
Bay,
that's
yeah.
right. Tampa Bay, jeez. Yeah.
Unless
Yeah,
he
so
cheated
many.
there. I think the first couple of Super Bowls for the Patriots were more about the defense.
Yeah.
Because he was young then, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
But he also you could look at the Philly game from whatever it's been 7-8 years ago now. And it's like,
Nick
he threw
Foles.
for the most yards ever in the
Right.
Super Bowl and
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah.
So I
And they
guess
lost
it
to a
balanced
backup.
out.
Yes,
Yeah,
lost a backup, yeah. The Super Bowl thing. So if Super Bowls matter, then and this name won't matter to you guys at all, but Jim Plunkett should be in the Hall of Fame. He won 2 with the Raiders. And he had a very, I would say, Eli-like career where he was more of a game manager. It wasn't he wasn't good coming out of college and then got rescued when he went to the Raiders. But he won 2 Super Bowls, and I always thought he should be in. I guess if you're a quarterback and you win 2, you should be in.
Look, if you were asking me, I do not think Eli Manning should be in the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't consider him a Hall of Fame.
that would be one where I'm not going to be like, no, he needs to be
But
in.
I think he's going to get in, and I'm not going to lose my mind.
He's got enough going for him with the name and everything else that he has.
Yeah.
That he'll eventually get in.
And-
Like Dan Marino's in, right?
Yeah.
He
Marino's
never
in.
won
No.
a Super Bowl.
Right.
So, I mean, I think if you don't win a Super Bowl, you have to be that good, right? You have to throw for that many yards or, that sort of thing.
And one of the things working against Eli, though, is that if you look at his numbers he produced, quarterbacks are producing more now. You know what I mean? Like, it keeps going up and up and up. And that's some of the things that hurt some of the other quarterbacks from the past. Like, it was a different game in the 70s.
For sure. Yeah. You're talking about Plunkett. Like, that was a different kind of game back then. The quarterback was more of a game manager. And, like, we're not going to throw the ball and have an interception. You know, like
under center, five-step drop.
Exactly.
You know,
it was a whole different ball game.
Totally different on that. All right, coming up next, we'll tell you what's got us juiced. Morning Juice.
New year, new you, new truck from Germain Toyota of Columbus. And the deals are built tough. Drive home the all-new 2026 Toyota Tacoma with 2.99% financing for up to 48 months. Need more muscle? The 2026 Toyota Tundra delivers with 2.99% financing for up to 72 months, or take $3,000 in customer cash. Germain Toyota has the truck and the deal you've been waiting for. Shop today at Germain Toyota of Columbus, where selection, value, and trust come standard. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but none of them really felt like mine. I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. And I never had much stuff because I always had to be ready to move. Why get things if you just have to let them go?
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make videos. But the best part, knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. You don't want to start the new year off hurting. You don't want to start off the new year getting surgery. You don't want to start off the new year dealing with trying to plan something out into the future. What you want to do is get healthy. So what you want to do is go to my friends over at QC Kinetics. Dr. Tesner and his team, the medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus, they can deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas that are causing you pain. Those achy knees, hips, back, shoulders, whatever it is, they can help you get ready. So instead of those invasive operations, it's going to sideline you all of the early year. Go check out our friends at QC Kinetics and see if they can help you today. Imagine moving better, being stronger, planning your year, doing what actually you want to do. So don't wait. Call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices located in Dublin and Gahanna, and they're ready there for your free consultation. So go check them out today.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post 9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing, to get the help you need, to find peace.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right, it's Bobby on the road, so he's not here. That's me covering up for saying it's Bobby very awkwardly.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
Sometimes, like Michael Scott, I start saying something, I have no idea where it's going to go. It's not Bobby. It's Tito.
Find it along the way.
Yes, it's Jay-Z.
Bobby is on the road today. Yeah.
Bobby's replacement for the day. And it's Bodie. Bodie, I say something before we come back to this. You're going to hit it, right?
I am ready, Tito.
Do it.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
It is a Friday or a Fry-yay, or if you're Your Highness, Fry-hey.
Hey.
Justin, you go first. What's got you juiced?
This is a rough one for me this week. I was trying to think about it. I had my high school coach's wife passed away on Tuesday. Putting my dog down today. It's just like, had a rough week. But I did have an anniversary on this past Sunday. So I'll go back to Sunday. We celebrated our 12th year anniversary. We had a great weekend, snowed in at home with the wife. So I was, I guess I'm juiced about that. But the rest of the week's been kind of crappy. And this afternoon's going to be, a terrible exclamation point, on the week. But Yeah, happy to be back in here with you guys. It's been a while, first time in the new year.
Yes.
So, some good stuff happening. But, yeah, it's just kind of been one of those weeks where you get a couple phone calls and you make a couple decisions, and it's like, man, it's been a rough one.
I was never a dog guy
for
a long time. And then I married into a family with my wife had a boxer that we had to put down. And I remember being, this is really turning bad.
It's not juice. Yeah, sorry.
It's like watching it happen and all that.
It's
And
the
kinda
worst, man.
And then we've gotten 2 new dogs since then, and I love them. I was going to say I love them to death, but that'd be a bad way to put it. I love them,
we
though.
do, though, yeah.
we
I
do.
mean,
It's
for
like
sure.
they're the best, and so I've
the
turned
worst
into a
part
dog guy.
It's the worst part about owning a dog. They're so great, but then it is what it is. But so that's not a great start to the juice segment.
Okay.
But I was thinking about it this week, like, what do I go with here?
You were snowed in with your wife,
yes,
on the anniversary.
Had some nice Italian, had a nice cheesecake.
Okay, I just want to know. Will you be making an announcement in the next 9 to 10 months?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Okay. So
that pattern is full.
All right, that's fine. Just wanted to make sure one didn't slip past the goalie. Phillip Rivers on my left over here. I just wanted to make sure. So I'm glad you stayed snowed in.
They won't bring me back to the NFL for more health insurance if I have another one.
Oh, gosh. Bodie, what's Slugs got to say?
I don't understand why people always have to get dressed up for white-collar jobs. Why can't we just wear jeans and cowboy boots and a tri-blend T-shirt? We get stuff done that way.
Schleiks gets stuff done that way.
He does.
He gets stuff
that's
done.
tough, Jay-Z. My heart really goes out to you, man. We have owned dogs my entire life.
Yeah.
I don't really have a memory of my life without either my mom or dad's side of the family owning pets.
Yep.
And into last September here, we had to put down our absolutely beloved. I'm going to get checked out.
Tell me about it all week long.
Our golden retriever, Jake, he was 12, would have been 13 in November. And when I tell you guys, I love this dog more than anything on this earth, human, non-living, living. I love that dog more than life itself. And putting him down, I don't think I've gone a day without thinking about him since. So my heart goes out to you and your family.
It's tough deal. No doubt about it. Dogs are much better than people.
They are, man. It's not even close.
No, it's
not really even close either. What does have me juiced that it's Friday, I was kind of juiced that next week looks like the weather's going to break just a tiny bit, and then Jay-Z gave us the news in the break that we might be getting more snow.
Well, that's an extended forecast on some sites.
I don't know that I could. It's February, which I know is still very much winter here in Columbus, Ohio, but it's breaking me down, man. I'm really at the wit's end there. I need some at least 35 and 40.
Yeah, just like see some of the snow start melting a little bit, right? Yeah, because it's just not going anywhere.
Some of those lanes on the highways and back roads start to open up a little bit more. And I will say, I feel like I've slowly but surely started to notice the sun staying out later, which is great.
Yep.
But, maybe just the light of the day, not the sun. Haven't seen the sun in a minute,
The grayness is around a little bit longer every night.
So, that all has me juiced that it's Friday. Tito, no football this weekend for the first time since.
Oh, there's a Pro Bowl game or something, isn't there?
That's next week.
Is that?
Yeah, it's like middle of the week.
Oh, is it really? Oh, so they do it during Super Bowl week.
I didn't know that either.
I haven't kept up on that.
I looked it up because as I was doing the fan pool, I was like,
it's like a flag football game now, anyways, isn't it? So who cares?
Some dodgeball and other stuff and whatnot. But Tito. So I'll have to find something to do this weekend. Maybe try to knock out some of the movies on the list that Carp's always ever extending. I did watch Sinners last night.
Did you like it?
Oh, did you?
You guys seen it?
I haven't.
Okay. We'll get into it.
Parts I've seen of it seem like it's a little weird.
It is out there. There's no question about it. I didn't really know what the plot of the movie was, to be quite honest with you. I assumed. You
just knew Josh Allen's wife was in it?
Exactly. And then Michael B. Jordan was in it. I thought the sin, given the title there, was, and just not that this is a bad thing. I'm all for equality and everything, but it was set back in the 1930s. I thought the sin of it was going to be Josh Allen's wife, Haley Steinfeld, dating Michael B. Jordan.
Right.
And she's white, he's black. I thought that is not the case at all. Not even remotely. So it was entertaining.
The one scene I saw was like some chick was like trying to eat him.
Yeah, I was going to try to avoid the spoilers.
Oh, is that a spoiler? I just thought it was one clip I saw.
That's okay. The movie's been out several months now. But
fair,
yeah, It takes a turn.
I saw that clip and I was like, I don't think I want to watch this movie. This looks a little strange.
It's entertaining, but was not what I was expecting.
Yeah,
so.
he shot her like 10 times and she jumped back up.
Yes,
I was like, oh.
And so maybe we'll get back into that a little bit on Monday when Carp's back. And I'll have to. I know he said he saw it last week, so
yeah.
I'm sure his thoughts will be fun on that more as well. So Tito, Friday, best day of the work week. Why is you juice, sir?
So we've got to go back, and I am not. I feel for you. It's been a rough week for you. I feel for you, Bodie, having to put your dog down. I do it as well. I am so sick and tired of people shedding tears before I have to give my what's got you juiced. Because you guys get all the sympathy, and then I come up, like I say, hey, farts. Like I say something stupid.
Listen,
and,
Tito.
What?
It's Beamer did it that way, where it would be Carp, myself,
right,
or Shark, then you, Beamer, I guess, or the opposite, kind of vice versa. And but he always went last. It's your show, man. If you want to come out on Monday and say what's got me juiced, you're the host. You can just rip that Band-Aid off. Now Bobby might try to kill you.
Yeah, because Bobby. I don't know if people realize it's not. Bobby's not big on change of routine.
Does he go first?
Well, he goes first on Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
And then we go Schlegs Tuesday, Thursday, and then Bodie, and then I always go last. I'm just saying at some point, okay, I'm not going to make the change now, but if this kind of crap continues to happen, where Bobby starts talking about growing up with his grandmother and tears start coming out, and it's like, hey, Tito, what's got you juiced? Oh, I had a bowl of cereal this morning. I got the Fruity Pebbles before the kids did. It's never the same.
I got the last of the Fruity Pebbles before the kids woke up this morning.
The thing with Carp, too, and I love him for it, but, he will... there are a lot of things that really can hit his heart, and it's great. I love that he shares it, and I think the guy's got a huge heart. But there are just times where it's like we'll play something that he found on Instagram, and it'll be just about loving your family.
Yeah, something like that. Right,
gets you choked up. You're like, dang it, Carp.
And I never have it.
No,
I never have it.
I guess you need to start being on Instagram more.
Brian says that we brought down the show. Do you want me to tell the Gigi story again?
No.
Don't do that one. You sure? Related to a dog.
I still can't tell if that story was real or not.
That's good, yes. Oh, good Lord. What's got me juiced? Now I got to come up with something deep. No, it's,
McCarthy.
Friday's a good day, yes. Basketball comes this week. I'm excited about that. We got games Saturday and Sunday. My daughter's a swim meet Saturday and Sunday. It'll be a busy, busy weekend, but after being kind of cooped up inside for as long as we were, that's good. The kids have been in school the last 2 days. I assume they went to school. My wife hasn't texted me yet to say they're refusing to go to school. So
there's still a bunch of closings popping up on the bottom of the ticker here on TV.
There's a lot of schools that are closed. A lot of school systems are closed there, but not Upper Arlington. They're going.
I thought they did it for the coldness of the weather.
They didn't do it yesterday or today, and you would think they would, but that. I know that, and Bobby talked about yesterday, those calamity days. You got a certain amount, then you have to start making the days up, and it might be over spring break, and everyone. And a lot of people
that would not make people happy.
No. A lot of people that have already made plans and things like that, they would just miss school those days. You know what I mean? They would just say, yep, sorry, we're out. I got eye problems. Can't see coming to school today. But so, it's got me juiced that I hope. I'm trying to think if I hope you're right about the forecast or wrong, the one you saw.
I hope I'm wrong.
Me too.
I think I am. Every other one I looked at just had maybe an inch.
Right.
It was just that one extended. I was like, oh, man.
I don't think that will happen. I don't think it'd be here. But I still enjoy a good snowstorm. I don't enjoy being, locked in, but I enjoy seeing the snow. I enjoy all that. Now, I looked this up while we were talking there. There's parts of Alaska from, it looks like the sun sets.
It's like
in
2 or
this
3
place
months, right?
in Barrow, it's called something else now I can't pronounce, but it says formerly Barrow. The sun sets around November 18th and does not rise again until January 23rd. So from November 18th to January 23rd, a 65 to, say, 67 day span there.
But then in the summer, they have, I went to Alaska. I went to Alaska probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I got in at 2 o'clock in the morning in the summer, and it was dusk outside. It was the craziest thing I had ever seen.
If you had to choose to be in one of those situations, which would you rather be in? The all darkness or all light?
All light, for sure.
No question, yeah.
I mean, darkness would get to you, I think.
Yeah, I'm a warm weather, summertime person.
Right. You talk about getting locked in the house in a snowstorm. Think about that for 3 months, basically.
It can never be light out enough for me. Yeah. And hell, I go home. I'll crash out for 3 hours this afternoon.
In the middle of the day, yeah.
So the sunlight doesn't bother me.
You get some blackout curtains, you're good.
Yeah.
I would love to see what the murder rates are during that darkness. Like if it jumps or not. You know what I mean? Because you got to believe.
They probably don't even know because who's going out and finding them? It's like, by the time the sun comes back out, they're buried in 3 feet of snow.
Right, like if someone goes missing, say, we'll go look for him in the morning. And the morning's 2 months from now. You can just do that, right?
When the sun comes up, we'll go out and look for him in April.
Right, yeah.
Sound like you just found a way to...
Yeah, I know. Take somebody out.
If you needed to.
Yeah. Right. Just got to get to Alaska.
You just got to get him to go to Barrow. I can't think what this word is. It's spelled, looks like UTQIAGVIK.
Oh, Udavik.
Is there? Oh.
You know what? You may just nail it.
You could have not.
I think he did.
I could have sold it. I could have sold that a little bit better. You guys would have believed it.
The Q in there is what throws it off, though.
Yeah.
You quit it.
It's a silent Q, like the J in jogging.
That's like the joke about the guy who goes up the job interview and the guy says, hey, on your resume, there's 8 years are incomplete. And he said, yeah, I went to Yale. And he said, oh, okay, yeah, you're hired. He says, yay, I got a job.
It's like Cousin Eddie.
Yes.
Yeah. Just holding out for upper management position.
Coming up next, Ask AJ? Question mark. We'll see. That's next on Morning Juice.
Bobby Carpenter here with the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Every great team starts with a playbook, a plan to move the ball down the field and score. Your business, it's no different. Whether you're expanding, hiring, or upgrading equipment, you need a game plan to make every dollar count. And that's why it's important to have an experienced banking team on your side. Here's Chuck Moore, CEO, and Travis Sanders, President of Riverside Bank of Dublin, on how they help local businesses design their winning playbook.
Thanks, Bobby. That's where Riverside Bank excels in our relationships with our clients. Our commercial banking team helps local businesses design winning strategies, from cash flow management to growth financing, so you're ready for every fourth quarter decision.
It's important to always have a plan and to never leave your business to chance. If you need help, call an audible with the team that knows your success and our success are closely aligned. Look for our new branch location at Bridge Park in 2026.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
If you're looking for the inside scoop on the Buckeyes, you've come to the right place. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Not Bobby. See, I did it that time.
You got it right that time.
It's Tito. It's Justin Zwick.
I know I look like Bob with all the muscles and everything.
A lot of times,
yeah.
A lot of times I look over there. Hey, is that
like,
Bobby? I
man,
can't tell.
That guy's jacked over there.
I get confused for Matty Ice all the time. Now let's bring on this guy.
A man with many career achievements. Leading tackler in Centerville football history. Leading tackler in Green Bay Packers history. Still afraid of Larry Knopfsinger. And the crowning achievement, the third member of the Island Boys, A.J. Hawk.
He is A.J. Hawk. AJ, you appeared in a couple of different places yesterday. I know you guys had Jimmy Johnson on your show with McAfee recently, and he when he uttered a curse word, you chuckled, and then somebody else on another show brought that up and just said, "Yeah, we're all children." When we hear somebody like that cuss, and we don't expect them to say that word, we still, just as juveniles, end up chuckling. Were you shocked that Jimmy Johnson used said curse word?
No, I wouldn't. I guess I wasn't shocked at Jimmy because I had a feeling. I saw him what he was posting online. He was pretty upset about Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer. I wasn't shocked, but I was. I guess I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, man, Jimmy's pretty fired up about this situation. Like it was cool to see how how much Jimmy cared about it, and how when a guy like that who I haven't seen on TV in a little while comes out there and he's on fire. I was like, okay, here we go, Jimmy. And it was fun to have him on.
Yeah, he was not happy about that decision. AJ, as somebody who was in the league, leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, as we just heard, how do you look at it as an NFL alum as far as this Hall of Fame voting? Do you think he should have been in first, or does it really matter to you? I mean, I know it doesn't really matter to you, but what are your thoughts on the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I'm not losing sleep over it, but when you sit there and you think, okay, yeah, if there's coaches in the NFL Hall of Fame, and Bill Belichick isn't a first ballot guy, I'm like, okay, then I'm not really sure what it means then and how it works. Like, I just need to know why the guy has so many Super Bowl rings and everything. I just want the guys, whoever voted against him, just to come out and say why you voted against him and why you don't think he should be in. Obviously, if you have a vote, it's your right. You would just let us know why, I guess, because what's any other coach on the planet have a chance getting in if Belichick doesn't get in the first ballot? But yeah, if it's some people are still upset, I guess, over the whole Spygate, whatever whole situation, Deflategate, all that stuff. But for me, that wouldn't, if I was a voter, which I never would be, I guess that wouldn't hold me back from putting him in first ballot.
AJ, we had the conversation earlier talking about how college football's trying to tinker with the targeting rule and all of that and trying to figure out the best way to do that. And we had the discussion about as a linebacker, you a lot of the times wanted to intimidate somebody coming over the middle so they would not feel comfortable coming over the middle. Fair?
Yeah, for sure.
How did you go? Like, what was the line for you? I'm not saying you tried to deliberately injure somebody. You want to hit them hard to where they're feeling it, but you don't want to injure them. How do you determine? Like, how does that happen in the moment of the game like that?
And if I can add, how did that change for you from when you were drafted and brought into the NFL towards and then the time where you were on your way out? Because things have changed as the way you're allowed to hit people and do different things. So did you see any of that or feel any of that in your playing days?
Yeah, I definitely saw it change. It was huge. Like, I remember, I forget who we were playing, but one of the first times they called a 15-yarder on one of our D linemen, I think it was like a 3rd and long against somebody, and we get a big stop and we think we're getting off the field, and they called like a helmet to helmet on one of our D linemen for hitting the quarterback, and it was not bad at all compared to like standards back in the day when I first got in. And so it used to be when I first got in, you might get fined for head-to-head contact or whatever, but there wouldn't be a penalty thrown. And so, like, okay, well, some guys, like, I can understand that. I'll take the fine, but if it's going to cost the team a game, that's when I saw it change. And so when they started throwing those flags on 3rd and 4th down on defenders for things that they hadn't really thrown in the past, and you may have been fined before, but not like penalized, that's when I saw it change, and everything kind of was a little different. But it is wild how fast people can change, because all this targeting stuff, I thought, like, oh, there's no way. You kidding me? The safeties, you're running and hitting, you're running full speed. Like, how can you ever change anything? But it's impressive how, I guess, young athletes have kind of lowered their whole target area. They tackle a little bit differently, but it has kind of, I guess, kept people's head-to-head contact at least as to a minimum compared to what it used to be. I mean, it's still a super violent game, but yeah, it's different. But I started. I mean, we watch stuff from when we were in college. I used to tell my kids, like, hey, I used to horse collar tackle people all the time. Like, it was the best. Like, horse collars, you watch, like, every once in a while I'll see a clip from when we're in school, and, like, you see someone chase someone down and dive and make a great horse collar tackle and save a touchdown, and you're like, man, it's wild that was legal. And those were the good old days, I guess.
Yeah. AJ still horse collars people, by the way. It's time for one of these.
If you come to a fork in the road, ask AJ, he'll help you know. Helmet shining, number 47 bold, he'll point you right where you should go. Just ask AJ.
We have a very special listener today, AJ. Jackson is home from school. He turned 10 years old on Wednesday. And he wants to ask AJ, and I'm going to follow up with one, but he wants to ask AJ what your favorite food is. And I would like to know, what kind of advice would you give to 10-year-old Jackson?
Man, that's a good question. My favorite food right now, for sure, is steak. I would say growing up, it was probably pizza, some kind of chicken. Now I'd say it's steak. And now I'm 42 years old, but I still like pizza, obviously. That's great food. But some kind of filet, some nice filet is my favorite right now. And advice for a 10-year-old, man, what a broad question. But for a 10-year-old, I'd say just go out there and enjoy yourself and have fun. Whatever he's doing, sports, school, whatever it might be, just enjoy it, even though it might be hard in the moment. But, yeah, that's all I would say.
Would you rather go to the moon or the bottom of the ocean?
Both of them scare me to death, but I'm going moon. I'd go to the moon.
If you could have a redo play from your career, which play would you want to run again or redo?
Gosh, I'm not going to think about it because that would take a lot of time. Man. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I would probably back in the day, I wish I could have hit Vince Young a little bit harder. That guy was so dang big and played in my senior year. He was hard to wrangle. I wish I could have got at least one good shot on him.
So do I.
Exactly. We all did. Yeah.
Not that we're pointing fingers or anything at you, AJ. No one's doing that. Looking at the Super Bowl coming up, do you like the matchup? Are you intrigued by the matchup?
Yeah, I'm intrigued by it. I mean, the Seattle, their whole angle, like I didn't know what they were going to be going into this season. I don't know what my expectations were for them, but I'm a fan of Sam Darnold. I like what they do. And Seattle's GM, John Snyder, he was actually in Green Bay my first 5 or 6 years. He's awesome. I root for him for sure, and I like the head coach. But as far as the Patriots go, are you kidding me? I mean, Braves. I've been a Braves guy forever. I love what he's been able to do in one short year, turn that team around, and Drake May. Like, it is an intriguing matchup for me. It really is. I have no idea how the game's going to go. I hear everybody's, like, all these people on TV are picking Seattle already to win. I don't know if that's how I see it, but yeah, I'm intrigued.
What's your schedule? You guys going to be at the game? Or are you doing the media all week long next week?
We're going to do, we won't be at the game, but we're going to go out for the Radio Row. We're doing shows out there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like we've been doing it the last, I don't know how many years we've been going to the Super Bowl, last probably 2 or 3. And so, yeah, we'll be out there in Radio Row, and players and people will be coming around, selling their products, whatever they're working for Energizer or Pizza Hut or Little Caesars, and we'll get to talk about it, listen to them, try to jam it into the interview. So, yeah, it's always fun.
Who's your favorite interview? I mean, you guys have probably done that a couple of years. Who's been your favorite dude that's kind of just stepped up? Because sometimes you'll just have people walking by and they'll get on the mic. Anybody stick out in your mind?
Yeah, we do. We start just like, Pat's awesome, so if you see anyone walking by, he just starts yelling at him during the middle of the live show and try to get him to walk up to a mic. We had, B. John Robinson the last year. Okay, it was maybe last year, 2 years ago. B. John was walking by, and Pat started yelling at him, "Hey, come on, B. John, come here." And he walked up to the mic, and he was wearing a Nirvana shirt, obviously. And we said, "Oh, you big Nirvana fan?" And he said, Yeah. And someone said, what's your favorite song? And he said, no, sorry. I just like the shirt. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know who this is. I just like the shirt. So it was funny to see, the age gap. All of us, we knew exactly who it was. But yeah, it was funny. He was a really nice kid. But guys, things like that happen throughout the week.
That doesn't sound like Pat at all, just yelling out and trying to get people's attention, regardless of who's around, who's on live radio. That's a good insight. We never would have thought that, AJ. But
yeah, it's fun.
Has there been somebody who's shunned you guys that pissed you off?
Oh, man, I can't think of right now. I don't know. I really don't, because I don't do all the booking, that's for sure. But we haven't had anyone just walk by and like just give us like the old slit in your throat sign or something, like they don't want to come on or they don't want to talk to us. But no, everyone's been pretty great, for real. Like, I don't know if you guys know the comedian Bert Kreischer. He came in. We had C.J. Stroud on. This was last year or 2 years ago, I believe. We had C.J. Stroud on at the moment, and Bert kind of stormed onto our set and was starting to do push-ups and everything. And then I think Bert got upset because we didn't count his push-ups and said they weren't full. He didn't go all the way down, all the way up. So yeah, things like that. You never know what's going to happen during Super Bowl week.
Marcus Freeman, according to Patrick Cogley in the chat, and he and Steve Kerr are the Notre Dame infiltrators. Just wanted to make sure you knew that Freeman's looking for a linebackers coach. Come on, AJ, is what he says.
Man, I tell you what, Marcus is doing a great job. I think he could slide in there and be head coach / linebacker coach. He could do it.
That makes sense.
Why not?
Speaking of our guy, Schlegels, new coach back at Ohio State. What do you think about that? Are you excited for him? I know you probably talk to him, more than I do about it, but, what are those players going to be getting out of him?
Oh, my gosh, I think it's awesome. And, I mean, anytime you can bring Schlegels around to any group of young people, just any group of anybody, to be honest with you, Schlegels going to elevate that group, and he's going to make them better and make it a more positive situation and work them hard. So I'm pumped for him. I mean, Schlegels is meant to be coaching and motivating and working people, do anything really to help people. And so for him to come back, I think it's huge. I know the rest of the coaches are pumped, and the players are going to be, very tired, very sore, and very appreciative. I think that Schlegels is there.
Yeah, they're going to learn him real quick, I think.
Yeah, they awesome. How would the player Schlegels have responded to the coach Schlegels?
Oh boy, that would be a fun thing to watch. If we could ever watch that, can you imagine? They would just be headbutting each other.
It would be primetime TV.
Yeah, you could still pay-per-view that, because if you could find a way to have current day Schlegels,
and Frank the Tank
Schlegels do a workout. Yeah, maybe even say, hey, you got to pick him up at his apartment and bring him in, and all of that. Like the back and forth between those two. Oh boy,
you got to find him on campus, get him into workout.
Good luck.
Yeah. Do you like the Arthur Smith hire for Ohio State, the OC?
I do. Yeah, I think he's a funny guy. I enjoy him. I think he's obviously an offensive, like one of those mastermind offensive guys that, wakes up in the middle of the night when he has like a new wrinkle on a different formation that he wants to run. I think he's one of those guys, and I think that's awesome. And I think he's gonna, much like Patricia, I think once he gets here, like once he's here for a little bit, he's gonna be like, this is awesome. Like, what a fun, cool place. I can bring my family around. I can do all this. Like, I just think Ohio State's a different atmosphere that he may have not. He hasn't been around anything like that maybe in a long time.
And it's got to be a big advantage. Like, and I talk about this all the time, but when you're in Pittsburgh, the talent is pretty equally distributed, because that's the way the NFL wants it. There's no like huge talent gaps. When you're at Ohio State, most of your games, now this year's a tougher schedule, most games though, his offensive players are a lot better than the defensive players on the other side of the ball, which makes it probably more fun to coach.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, you could, especially when you're calling the offense. I think when like, hey, it's pretty positive. A lot of our matchups that we have, when we go to the line of scrimmage, like I feel pretty good about our chances winning. Like I think that helps you as a play caller, and it really opens up your playbook when you know that you have an advantage, at least pre-snap a lot of times. And guys that can win one-on-one matchups, like you couple that with some awesome plays where you scheme guys open, like, yeah, you could score a lot of points.
I think he'd have taken the two receivers we had on our team last year in Pittsburgh, this past year for some weapons. But with, these coordinators from the NFL coming to college, I mean, there's been talk about Patricia maybe even going back to the NFL this year because, he had such a great year last year. Do you think it's easy, not easy, but you think we're going to be able to, like, hey, if we do bring these NFL coordinators in for 1 year, to replace them and keep hitting on that, how hard does that become if they don't stick around for, 3 or 4 years?
Oh, it's tough. I think, yeah. I mean, there's great coaches out there. There's also not great coaches out there, and there's everything in between. So, yeah, it is a different model, I guess. It's kind of like if, say you're a head coach in the NFL and you're a defensive guy, you bring in your offensive coordinator becomes great and your team becomes great. He's getting plucked away to be a head coach, and you got to keep re-upping that play caller. Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, those guys, There's, I think it's a super tough job, and I think the guy who calls the offensive plays has the ability to impact a game more than any coach on that whole staff. So it's a huge job. Hopefully get him to stick around a little bit, but yeah, if not, you got to always look to see who's next in the pipeline, who could do this if for some reason this guy gets another job.
When are you heading out west? What day?
I'm gonna be going out Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night.
Should we not plan on having you next Friday?
Oh,
probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, it might be tough.
What are they, 4:30 out there?
Yeah, 4:40 in the morning.
You're going to want to decline that one, AJ.
I figured we'd get that out of the way now so I don't text you at 4:30 in the morning. Say, hey, man, you coming on? Yeah. I'm not going to do that. All right. You're the man, AJ. Safe travels, bud, and we'll catch up in a couple weeks.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you.
You bet. That was AJ Hawk. Always entertaining.
He's the best.
Yeah. I love that we got a 10-year-old listener out there who's
great.
I know. I'm going to say this now. I know I've crossed the line a couple of times with some of my language, maybe some of the innuendos, but if we're going to pick a day when a 10-year-old's listening, it's going to be a day when Carp's not here.
Yes.
Because
there's probably less of those flying around.
Yeah, because if he listens to the show at 10, by the time we get done with the show with Carp, he's 17 years old. Just so you know, it's going to be like one of those Notre Dame Bodie birthday things where the kid's going to age very quickly on that one. It's probably a good idea that we don't have AJ next week, so we got to figure out something to fill in there for next week's show. You're in next week, couple days?
Wednesday, Thursday next week.
Wednesday, Thursday next week, because Bob's heading out to.
Is he going to the bowl?
No, he's going to celebrate do something with the troops.
Oh, is he doing the troop?
Yeah, the troop thing.
Deal
He does it every year. Yeah,
Yep,
so he'll be out. He'll be back Monday because we got the big decor meeting we got to have here. Bodie, you can't miss that. And then after that, he's out for the rest of the week.
Tune in, listeners.
Yes,
actually, tune in Monday just because the show's awesome. But then tune in on the YouTube and whatnot, 10 TV Plus.
Yeah,
maybe starting Tuesday.
Yeah,
or maybe the week after.
We'll see,
maybe the studio will look different.
Not bigger though, right? Not gonna be bigger.
It's bigger than you expected.
I wish we'd go to that other studio on that side there. I know we can't because Coaster Bob uses it.
Bobby, that one?
Yeah, no,
I feel like it's been dark every time I've been in
here. It's
here.
dark every day, right? Why can't we use that studio?
It's a good
I
question.
thought that was the Blue Jackets studio.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
it's just called that because the wall decor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still learning.
I don't know.
You'd be leaving me though, Tito.
That's a good idea, isn't it?
Oh, would you have to stay in here?
No, we could move everything over.
Talking to you through the glass.
Yeah, I guess we could actually. Now that I think
about it. We're in Yale.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly.
No cameras in there though.
We can do this. Let's make it happen. That's our meeting over Monday. Meeting over. Don't have to have it now.
Let's cancel the meeting. You guys just figured it out.
I'll tell you, Tito. I've tried and failed to make mountains move at this radio station. So if you want to take a crack at it,
you know
my
what?
guest.
You know what the thing was? When we wanted you as producer, I was told there's no way. Keep dreaming.
Might be the one thing.
And now, let's say it's a big one though. Thanks to AJ for tuning in. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jay-Z, appreciate you. Bodie, great job this week. Get some sleep.
You too,
and Monday, Carp's back, and also have Bill Bender on at 6:20 to discuss something.
College football stuff.
College football stuff, yes, among other things, and maybe get some Ask Bender questions in as well if we're running out of time.